So we're going to do something a little unusual since we're back here for the first time, and a lot of us haven't met each other. Why don't we just go around for the outside of the room here? A lot of people I don't know, and I think a lot of people don't know here. If everyone just wants to say their name and where they work, their title.
Christian Barnes, Director of Research for the Minority Conference.
Brianna Eves, Policy Analyst for the Minority Conference.
Nicole Anthony, Chief Director of Communications for the Legislature.
Nicole Chambers, Clerk of the Legislature.
Javon Williams, Policy Analyst, Legislative Black Caucus.
Eric Ford, Senior Budget Analyst, Office of the Chair.
Chris Herbert, Budget Analyst, Management and Budget.
Samir Madasra, Budget Analyst, Management and Inquiry.
Michelle McClave, Commissioner, Albany County Department of Social Services.
Bill Reinhardt, County Legislator and Troublemaker.
Mike McLaughlin, Director of Policy and Research for the County Executive.
I'm Siddiqui, Policy Analyst for the County Executive.
Dave Riley, Commissioner of Management and Budget.
Paul Bergdorf, County Legislator, Colony.
Arna Zilgme, Minority Caucus Counsel.
Anton Kornev, Confidential Assistant to Comptroller for Legislation.
Pat Collins, Counsel to the Chairman.
Andrew Joyce, Albany County Legislature, Chair.
And we might as well all do the same here. Sam Fine, Albany County Legislator, Chair of the Social Services Committee also.
Curtis Kennedy, Staff, Majority Counsel's Office.
Jeff Burley, Legislator from Altamont, Guilderland, and part of the Hilltowns.
Carolyn McLaughlin, District 1 in the South End of Albany.
Frank Camiso, District 11.
Merton Simpson, District 2, Arbor Hill, Sheridan Hollow, Washington Park, and West Hill.
Good evening, Maura Manning, Commissioner, Department for Children, Youth, and Families.
Chris Smith, Legislator for the Hilltowns.
Patty Lockhart, Legislator, Colony.
Brandon Russell, Deputy Majority Counsel.
Rebecca Kennedy, Majority Counsel.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We won't ask everyone to do that every time, but I think it's nice that we all, get to know each other a little, as this is the first time for a while we've been back in the room together. So now I'm going to formally call the meeting of the Social Services Committee to order. First item is approving previous meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve? Mr. Camiso, motion. A second?
Second.
Second. McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now on to current business, number 2. We'll do a quick roll call, actually.
All right, Mr. Fine?
Here.
Camiso?
Here.
Brewski is excused. Cleary? Smith?
Here.
Lockhart?
Here.
McLaughlin?
Here.
Pearlie?
Here.
And Simpson?
Here.
7 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So number 2, authorizing an agreement regarding transportation for children with special needs to education and therapy programs. Commissioner Manning?
Thank you, Chairman Fine and committee members. We at the department respectfully request to go into a contract with Raja Group, LLC. They have provided transportation to us in the last RFP contract for the past 3 years, and at this point we submitted another RFP to the community. They were the only sole responders to the RFP, and they transport children 3 to 5 to center-based programs for children that are identified through the school district as having special needs. They are in the need of speech, OT, and speech, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. And the transportation is required by state law that we provide that. We do get reimbursed 59% on the dollar, if you will, 59 cents. And in addition, we do try and get reimbursement through Medicaid. So I know they provide services in zones, and they have agreed this year that they will go cross zones so we don't have to use additional buses. In addition, I know that they are in 2 other counties, Saratoga and Schenectady County, and we actually have a discounted price for our buses versus their buses.
Thank you. And are there any questions from the committee? Ms. McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no objections to this, although I do have concern, again, about this being the only proposal received. And I've raised this kind of question in the past when we enter into contracts and I see that it's the only proposal. And I was just saying I was going to be looking at that kind of stuff moving forward. And is there a reason why they were the only ones that
I can tell you that I did provide purchasing with a list of transportation companies, including First Child, the one that does Albany City, Brown Transportation. There was also, I can get you a list if you'd like, of all the ones. There's another one up in Colony, up by Central Avenue. But there were about 5 or 6 that were sent, actually specifically the RFP proposal, but they chose not to respond.
Okay. Yeah, I would appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Ms. Lockhart?
Thank you. Commissioner, in relations to the price this year, is it significantly higher? Is it higher?
It is higher than the last
by what
go
is
around, and it is about 15% increase, 15 to, I want to say it's like 18.5, 15 to 20% increase. And again, they have indicated that staffing has been a challenge. A lot of people, like even the monitors, because above 4 children, you have to have a monitor on the vehicle, and many of these children need to have a one-on-one aid because of their medical condition. So therefore, they can't find any monitors. So they've had to increase their cost, because it's, they get more money working at a McDonald's than they do working with the children on the buses.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Smith?
I was just gonna make a motion to move it.
Okay.
If there's no other questions.
Is there a second? Second, Ms. Lockhart. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're moving on to number 3 on the agenda, authorizing the acceptance of grant funding and amending the 2021 Department of Social Services budget. Commissioner McClave?
Good evening. Once again, we're talking about the Emergency Rent Assistance Program. We've come to you before multiple times, but hopefully this is the final time on this one. If you remember, we had transferred funding to OTDA, New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, to operate the Emergency Rent Assistance Program. This is them now giving us back 10% of that grant to operate our outreach and engagement services to get people to apply and assist them in enrolling in the ERAP program. So this is us accepting the grant for $906,175,000, and that will be for Department of Social Services, and it will be for our subcontracts with United Tenants and with Legal Aid Society as well, to also do outreach and engagement in the community and at the courts. And this is 100% federal funding.
Are there any questions from the committee?
I'm sorry, Mr.
Ms.
Chairman.
McLaughlin?
At this point in time, have you developed any materials?
Yeah, we've been outreaching and engaging people, and we have flyers that have been both created by the state that we put our own stamp on, and and internally developed flyers, outreach materials. There's a video on social media, on our website. So yes, we're out there with a lot of different materials on this program.
And what kind of response have you received thus far? I know it started June 1?
June 1st, so we're still almost within the 30 days, which is the most important time period. And we're feeling pretty good about where we are at compared to some of the other counties that I'm hearing locally. So we have, I think I got the latest for Monday, yesterday, and we have 1,700 people who have fully completed the application. So that's pretty good. The state does not yet capture those people that have applied but not yet fully completed their application. These are fully completed applications, so.
So if someone doesn't have access to the internet or doesn't know how to use a computer, is there a way that they can fill it out, a paper application?
There are no paper applications, but that's what we're here for. That's what DSS is doing. We're out in the community and in our offices. If people want to come in, we can help them there. Or at the libraries now reopen, and there's computers available there. So if people don't have access to a smartphone or a computer or a laptop, there are options available.
And so this funding includes both the contracts that we already have with Legal Aid Society and United Tenants, and it's for your own
Costs,
your own
right.
costs for outreach
Mhm.
and assistance.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other questions from the committee? Or questions? Mr. Bergdorf, if you have a question.
Yes, it's just kind of odd. We've been going back and forth on this thing. I remember when Dave Riley said, hey, we got the money, and we can get started.
It was cold then.
It was cold then, you're right. And then it went to the state because it was going to be more efficient with the state. And when we had the money, we were ready to do contracts with tenants and legal aid. Has United Tenants and Legal Aid done any work so far, or now are they waiting for you to get the grant money to start?
No, they're participating in outreach and engagement as well. They're helping people enroll with applications. Legal Aid is they're doing their outreach at the courts, and then people who have eviction notices coming into them, they're working with those people. So yes, they are engaging people.
Okay, so are our contracts with them going to be retroactive, or are they going to start?
Yes, they are already signed, those I believe. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been signed
Those-
contracts when we don't have money?
We just authorize the contracts.
Yeah, that
When
came
we have
before,
money.
that came
And then
before
we got
you,
rid
yes.
I knew this was going to be a naughty.
We had the money, and then
We had it, it was gone.
we had the money. Now we have it again.
But your sense is,
Move quick.
with all of this, we haven't lost too much ground?
No, I think we're in good shape. Actually, I think Albany County's in pretty good shape. I'm very happy with where we are.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? We have a motion to
I'll make
approve.
a motion to move
Mr.
it.
Smith, is there a second? Second. Mr. Camiso, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, now we're moving on to number 4, authorizing an agreement with Homeless and Travelers Aid Society regarding homeless housing emergency services.
So this was a rebid of a service that we've had for many, many years. So we did an RFP for on-call placement and intake and placement services for homeless individuals after hours on weekends and on holidays. So this was actually a bit, only one respondent as well to this RFP, and that was the Homeless and Travelers Aid Society. This is a contract, we're hoping for 4 years, renewable annually for the next 4 years at $134,955. And they do all of our intake for all night long. And they also organize the Code Blue program. So they call the Code Blue Nights. They work with the providers, the police, et cetera, and other entities to organize Code Blue placements during the winter months.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee?
Make a motion.
Motion, Mrs. Lockhart.
Second.
Second, Mr. Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimous. Okay, and the last item on the agenda, number 5, authorizing the submission of a grant application regarding the 2021 SNAP Process and Technology Improvement Grant for the implementation of a centralized call center.
This is, yes, the second time that we've applied for this grant. This has come before a couple of years ago, I believe. And we did not receive it at that time. These are highly competitive grants. It's with, to the United States Department of Agriculture for improving SNAP processing. So, and it's supposed to be technology focused. We are asking for the establishment of a call center and a data management system that will help us track the cases that come in and the status of those cases and how long it takes us to respond to those cases. We'll have a lot more data on how SNAP cases are handled. Right now, we receive almost 30,000 calls per year on the SNAP program. Unfortunately, many of those are repeat calls because we cannot possibly return the calls that come in addition to processing our day-to-day intakes and recertifications and changes that we have to process for our 18,000 plus households that are on SNAP. So we're looking for a grant. This is a grant application for $692,000, all 100% federal funding, it will be establishing, as I said, a call center where the calls will be answered in real time, and they'll come into the first line. If that line's busy, it will go over to the next line, to the next line, and the next line, so that a real person can answer and respond to their inquiry right there in real time and make the correction, not have to call anybody back, not have to pay phone tag, that kind of thing. So we're, if we were to get this, we think it will improve efficiencies in our SNAP processing.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
I'm not really familiar with the SNAP process, but the process is they call it county. And then is it true that Cornell Cooperative Extension actually administers it, or no?
That's for the HEAP program, the
They don't do
Home
it with
Energy
SNAP?
Assistance Program. We handle 100% of SNAP applications, recertifications, intakes, and any kind of change that anybody might have in the SNAP program.
Perfect. I'll make a motion to move it, if no other questions.
Joe, I just want to comment. So I remember when we passed this a year or two ago. So I remember being excited about this program. So we weren't able to move forward with it because we didn't get the grant.
We were denied, right.
Okay.
So it's a national competition, so it's pretty heavily competitive.
Okay. Is there more funding available now with the federal government funding?
The
so many more
grant amount
programs?
is about the same as it was last time.
But more available in the total pot, do you know?
No.
So, no? Okay.
Yeah, it's about the same. I think it's like $6 million or something like that for the whole country. So it's very competitive.
Okay. Ms. Lockhart?
Commissioner, I remember us talking about the kiosks that you would have at different places, like in your office and different things, so people could leave their documents and sign up for different things. I know this is a different situation, the call center, but will they interact with each other?
Well,
I don't know if that's the right word.
not
but,
really. I mean, the kiosk will upload documents into a SNAP application, so if somebody comes in and makes a phone call, we can pull up the application and there will be the document. I mean, that's, this is really to, I have a change of address, someone left my household, what is my amount?
Okay.
You know, really just answering all those calls that come in every day.
Okay. Okay.
And responding to them in real time.
And an initial sign up or application too, right?
Oh.
But that's what I was thinking, because the other is,
You still have to submit it, no, you'll still have to go through either a paper application or through My Benefits
okay.
to submit an initial application.
Okay. So this is
Yeah.
more ongoing kinds of questions after.
Yeah, and once you submit your application, we can tell you the status of it.
Gotcha, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Smith, second, Mr. Camiso. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimous. And that's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.